people will always remember how you make them feel. And if they feel like they can trust you, they feel like they can talk to you, they feel like they can rely on you. I'm not just another barber. I am somebody who literally gives a shit. Like on my Instagram, it doesn't say artist, it doesn't say barber, it says image consultant.
If you have a clean haircut and you feel your best, I always feel like a billionaire when I walk out that chair.
Welcome to
Really?
the episode number 11. And Corbin,
Let's go.
you will have an honor to introduce our guest today.
This is Justin,
What's up, everybody?
and thank you again for all of our subscribers that are following us while we document this journey. We really appreciate everybody on camera. Justin's actually my barber. That's why I look so good right now. Very clean cut. And he's sauced up Brandon as well. He's met Vlad at the gym. So today we're going to talk about a little bit about his life and his experience with success. And anything else you want to add today, Vlad?
Yeah, man. Justin is one of us, someone who's climbing to success. He's trying to figure it out, juggling family, kids, his business. He's actually a special person because I consider anyone special who can be an entrepreneur, because you're an entrepreneur running your own business. So
Yeah.
we would love to know more about the struggles that you're experiencing and the challenges and the wins.
Yeah.
We did forget to say that this is the Underdog Podcast. So subscribe, like, comment, let us know your thoughts. Brendan, do you have anything to add before we take it off and start our little topic today?
Yeah, even before the cameras were on, we were laughing and goofing, so I'm excited for this episode. Again, Justin's one of us, and he understands, all of our experiences, so it's going to be a fun podcast.
Thank you for coming on.
Oh, dude, my pleasure for having me. Thanks,
appreciate it.
guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us,
Yes, sir.
Brendan.
Yes, sir.
Vlad, as always.
Thank you. All right, so we're gonna start with our guest. If you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself,
Sure.
where you grew up, and if you're a family man, I heard you are. A little bit about your
Yeah.
family.
Sure. My name's Justin Juroe. I'm a professional barber. I've been licensed 7 years now in the industry. I specifically focus on like fine men's grooming, beards, shaves, haircuts, fades, color, perms. I mean, I like really when I wanted to be. I don't want, because I know you guys got a bunch of questions, so I don't want to really like branch into it. But yeah, so I've been cutting hair professionally for 7 years. It's been a very demanding, rewarding, punishing, and like uplifting job that I think I've ever had. And I actually don't even call it a job. I call it more of a career because as we talk today, I'll kind of explain to you guys like how like I've kind of like stopped looking at it as like a hustle and more as like, this is a career. This is what I'm using to like, elevate my life and like bring me into that next chapter and stuff like that. So
Absolutely.
pretty simple, man. I mean,
Do you think a beard would look good on me?
do I?
The answer is no.
It's actually
Hey,
really,
let me hear the professional.
it's very funny that you say that, Vlad, because they say that men who are clean shaven are usually more trustworthy than men that have facial hair. I don't know if you guys knew that, but when you go to a job interview, they actually will look at you twice over the guy that has facial hair if you have a clean face.
This is going to be a good podcast. Like I said earlier.
That's a very true
Okay.
fact, man.
Okay.
Maybe that's how you got hired.
So
That nice clean face of yours.
there is just your resemblance more trustworthy. It's really interesting, like for sure.
And you're married and you have kids?
Engaged, just got engaged actually over Christmas, which was pretty cool. Thank you guys. Yeah, I know she put up with me for 6 years, and I gave her the runaround, but I finally was like, you know what, like she's the one for sure, and I need her to know that. So I asked her to marry me right before Christmas, which was really cool. And yes, we have a 3-year-old daughter. Her name's Ryder.
Okay, amazing. That's amazing age.
Yeah,
I have a son. He's 7-year-old.
Okay.
These kids don't understand it, but I can relate.
For sure. Yeah, they're. I'm at that age, man. They call it three-nager. I don't know if you
No.
I've heard of that expression, like terrible twos.
I'm an immigrant. I haven't heard a lot of expressions. So I'm
Okay,
still
all
learning.
right, yeah. So the terrible twos, right? They call it three-nager now. That's like they have the attitude.
Absolutely.
They're starting to like demand and like have an opinion
Yeah,
and stuff
that's
like
fine.
that.
But they're amazing this age, and like 3, 4, 5, my favorite age.
I'm excited.
They're so cute. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm so excited, man. Like just seeing her every day. Like I come up the stairs when I get home from work, and it's always just like
That's what it's all about.
like a daddy, and like I tell you what, man. Like, and I'm sure as you know, because you have
Yeah.
a kid too, right?
Yeah.
Like you could just be having like a terrible day, like just an absolutely excruciating, punishing day. And like as soon as you come around and you hear that from your kid, it's just like everything just kind of just goes away. You're like,
100%.
it's not that bad. You know what I mean? So,
My biggest challenge was like, how do you find that balance between family and spending enough time with your child and actually go back to your mission and make money? Like, how do you juggle all that?
well, I mean, honestly, man, I'm very privileged to say that I only work 4 days a week.
You
and
do?
I only work
Yep.
4 days a week. Yeah, man.
Fuck, man, we gotta get on that program.
Yeah. I mean, could I hypothetically work 5 days a week? Yes, I totally could, 100%. But
But it's going back to the balance.
I'm going back to the balance. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, like I'm 35. I'll be 36 this year. I don't know. I know you guys are both younger, right?
Yeah.
And then I know it's probably like not really like polite
I'm
to ask.
32.
You're 32. Okay, for sure. So I'm the senior. I'm the unk in the room,
Yes,
as they call it, right?
Big
Yeah.
unk.
They start
Big
calling me.
unk.
They start calling me that shit at the barbershop, dude, and I can't stand it. But I mean, it is kind of true. But you know, like my dad, like was always working. My mom was always working, you know, and like I was very like probably like 70% of my childhood, I was being raised by somebody else. Like in the mornings,
Yep.
like we had our little Mexican nanny named Josefina that was like taking care of me and my brother from the time I was like probably like 5 to like maybe like 7. And then we moved, and then we went to our house that we used to live at down
Yep.
over off of Santa Canyon. I cut your hair there during COVID, all that
Yep.
kind of stuff. And we had, she's like my sister. She's not blood related, but like she couldn't be any more closer to sister. And she lived with us in my parents' house until I was probably like about, I want to say like 17, maybe even 16. And she was like there in the morning, like getting us ready for school, making us breakfast, like getting us out the door on time, making sure we were on our way to school. And so, but my parents were always working, and then I would see my mom in the evenings, and then my dad would get home kind of like later evening, you know? And so I kind of looked at that, and I understand like why my dad was doing that, because he was just trying to like, and my mom too, like they're just trying to give us the life that, you know, maybe they never had, right?
Yep.
I know you hear that a lot,
Of
probably,
course.
right? Like I work to give my kids the life that I didn't have, right? Well, the life that I want to give my kid is being present with her. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very grateful, and I'm very fortunate enough to only have to work 4 days a week, and those other 3 days. One of the days she's in school, so I get my day. I get my day to kind of like decompress, prepare myself for the week. But then usually on Wednesdays and Sundays are like my full days with my daughter, and I'm like 100% invested with her when I'm with her, because I want her to know, like as she gets older, that like her dad was there and her dad was present in her
Yes,
growing up.
absolutely.
A lot of people like it's wild, dude. We drop her off at daycare, and you know, I like me and Alexis, dude. We feel guilty about leaving her there 2 days a week, dude. And we know parents that drop their kids off there that are there 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, man, that's crazy. Like you don't see your kids 5 days in a row for like the entire day, like almost. And it's like, I love that. I love that I get to be with my daughter, and I have the privilege of being with my daughter, because from 1 to like 4, you know what I mean? Like those are the core years that you really get to like develop that sense of connection with them before you like give them away to the world, you know?
Yeah.
And then they're in school all the time, and they got friends, and they're wanting to like go out and do things away from you. And so I'm really grateful and privileged to like be able to say that I only work 4 days a week, and I get to spend a lot of time with my daughter. So
And she's thankful for that too.
yeah, you hope so. You
Yes,
hope that you hope that
absolutely.
they are. Yeah, we've been in good spirits so far. So
No, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Going back to your story, Justin, when it comes to, you know, being a barber, what was that moment where you're like, okay, I want to pursue this. Like, I want to make this like my life.
Brandon, I'll be 100% honest with you, dude. I never had any aspiration of wanting to be a barber, ever. I wanted to be a chef. I wanted to be a private chef. I wanted to own a restaurant. As Corbin knows, I grew up working for my family at the pizza shop, who I was most privileged enough to have Corbin work alongside me with for a couple of years. And
You told me stories about that.
yeah, absolutely, man. I was very grateful. I knew Corbin when he was working at El Pollo Loco, And I was like, dude, like, you got to come work with me, man. Like, you got the hustle, you got the grind, and I want people like that around me because it's going to just make everything operate smoother. 100%. And so I thought for the longest time, because my family was in the pizza business, that I wanted to do food. I wanted to be like some kind of chef. I wanted to work in a restaurant. I wanted to do that. And then when I went and toured, I toured Le Cordon Bleu. And then I was there and I realized that like the more I did it, I had worked in restaurants off and on like throughout my entire like teens, then into my like mid 20s. And when I realized that, I had a chef at this restaurant I worked at called Michael's on Naples down in Long Beach. And I was down there and I was talking with the chef, telling him like my aspirations to like be a chef. And he was like, well, if you want to be a chef, just work in a kitchen. You don't have to spend the money to go to school when like all they do is teach you like knife skills. They teach you how to like do seasonings and obviously you learn how to cook, but really it's like you learn how to become a cook when you go out into the real world and you're actually cooking for people.
Yeah.
And so like that, when I realized that life was like really demanding, like restaurant life is crazy, man. Like you're there 4 o'clock in the afternoon till like 2 o'clock in the morning when you're done with service, cleaning. And then it's like literally all day. Weekends are gone, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, busiest days at restaurants all the time. So you were literally just giving away your weekends. And I was kind of in this tussle where it was like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Like I thought for the longest time, I was like, well, I guess I'll just open a pizza shop and, do pizza like my family had done prior to me, and I didn't ever really think that anything else was out there for me. And then my mom, no joke, like told me like, you should be a barber. And I was like, you're out of your fucking mind. I don't want to be a fucking barber. Why the fuck would I want to do that, right? And she's like, well, why don't you like just go tour a school and just see like what it's about and if you like it or not, like try to dip your feet into something that maybe you're like, she's like, you're good with people, you know how to talk, like you're very articulate and you have done customer service your entire life. Just go check it out and go see. So I took her advice and I went to Paul Mitchell Costa Mesa. It was the only school that I toured. And when I walked in, I like met the dean, I met like a couple people there and I like walked in and the school was like really cool, really modern, like bunch of really cute girls and all that kind of stuff, which is another great reason to go to beauty school, you know what I mean? But I walked in and, I was like, oh shit, dude, like everybody's in all black, tattoos, like hard looking dudes. Like I was like, this looks pretty fucking cool. This looks fun. And so I took the tour, man, and I literally signed on the line, like literally like after one interview and I was off and in school and it was awesome. It was such a fun experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I would think that you would have to have some kind of natural inclination to do something with your hands. Like if I could imagine myself like randomly thinking, okay, maybe I should be a barber. I mean, I have my hands grown out of my ass. I will mess up. Like I feel like I can't do anything with my hands when it comes down to such a precise work on somebody's, not body, but face and head. Did you see any talents or inclination in that towards that?
I mean, honestly, like it's like I say, like any good thing comes with about 1,000 hours of practice or more. 1,000 is like actually kind of like underselling it like a lot, but like you perfect something over, decades, you know what I mean? Like I've been cutting hair 7 years professionally with a license and I still think that there is like eons for me to go. You know what I mean? Like it's I guess that's that constant pursuit of like wanting to just make it tighter, make it sharper, make it nicer. You know what I mean? Like that is constantly like pushing me. But as far as like the school goes, like, hell yeah, dude, I walked in there. I was nervous as shit because I never picked up a pair of clippers like ever in my life. Like I remember being at school when we were doing our like the straight razor, like they pulled out the straight razors, which is like it's the reason you go to barber school. It's the reason you spend the money to go to barber school is to learn how to use a straight razor, how to actually be a traditional barber that uses that tool. And what they do in school is to teach you how to use it is they give you a balloon and they cover the balloon in shaving cream and you have to shave the balloon with a razor. And I have a lot of confidence. I did theater like growing up. I've never been like afraid of being in front of people or talking and being like this, which is why like when you guys invited me, I was like, oh, this is going to be so great because I'm going to be just having a fun conversation with like you guys that like have a lot of similarities I see like in me and in what you guys do individually, right? Like, but hell yeah, dude, they pulled it out and I was like, I got this, no problem, dude. First try, and I went up, pulled out the straight razor, and my first pull on the balloon, dude, just boom, and just shaving cream everywhere. Got all over me. Got over a couple of the kids like in the zone in the front and stuff like that. And everybody was laughing. We were all having a good time. And they were like, okay, well, who wants to go next? And I went, whoa, wait. Like, let me do it again. Let me try again, you know? And
okay, so it's ability to not give up. And
yeah, for sure. So, and then they gave me the second balloon, and the second balloon, I made it, I think, like probably like 6 or 7 passes before I caught it. And then I was like, oh, okay. But it was a learning experience, you know, like,
I like that.
yeah.
I like that.
So it was fun.
But, you know, one thing is to learn the skill, because for those that watching us, you know, a lot of people trying to find themselves and what they're going to do in life. And a lot of times you go and acquire the skill and then you don't know what to do with it. Like you go get that real estate license, but then you don't know how to apply it, because it's always a problem. Like if you've been entrepreneur, you know that the main problem in any business is how to acquire the customer.
Yeah.
So how do you go through getting your first client, second client, to having a system where you can just have people come in to you on your schedule, because you work 4 days a week. So it has to be like sustainable system that you have where you have repeat customers. But how do you start acquiring those customers?
Well, okay, so when I started, you know, I was 27 when I went to school. Yeah, because I graduated 2018. So I was 27. So I was a lot older than I wouldn't say all, but a lot of the people that I went to school with. You know what I mean? And as you know, maybe you guys do, maybe you guys don't. Like when you graduate high school, right? There's either like the standstill where you're like, I'm not sure if I want to do school, maybe I'll just work. There's the, I'm going to a 4-year university because I got a degree or I got a scholarship, you know, and then there's like the people that kind of just like, you know, float around in like junior college until they figure out like what it is the hell they like really want to pursue and really want to do. That was me. I was like, when I went to college, man, like I was there, I went to Fullerton Junior College for like probably like 2 years, just kind of like not really sure, like no direction, nothing like that, you know? So I was wasting time. I was wasting money, you know? And I was just kind of like, well, you know, like as long as I'm here, like my parents, like some of us might like get lucky in the fact that it's like, you know, if I'm in college, my parents are happy. You know, my parents are happy. My parents will take care of my bills, help me with my bills, you know, as long as I'm in school or I'm doing something, you know. I'm sure maybe you guys have heard that where it's like, well, if you get straight A's, I'll get you a truck, or like if you like, you know, if you're upholding your end, I'll uphold ours to make it easier for you, right? Yeah. So when I went back to school, I was very lucky. I got a grant from the government, and then I was very lucky enough to actually have my parents help me with school and put me through school, which is really great. And I will forever be like grateful for that. Like they gave me something that I like love and I have developed and turned into a skill. But anyway, so I went to school. I started at 27. I was a lot older than a lot of the people that I went to school with. And so my main goal, because I wasn't working when I was in school. I would work on weekends at the pizza shop, taking pizza deliveries on the weekend, but I was very blessed to not have to work while I was in school.
Corbin's very familiar with pizza.
Yes, he is, absolutely. Well, I don't know if you know this. I was the one that hired Corbin.
Yeah. No way!
I hired Corbin. Yes.
Oh my God, he has the Porky's
Porky's family right here, man.
The Porky's hoodie is his uncle's shop.
It is
I thought he still works there because he shows up at the gym in that
all the time.
hoodie.
I know.
Super iconic.
I keep telling him we'll get him a new one, and he's like, no, I like this one. This one's good. There's a lot of history. And
very minimal. But that Porky's is like the stepping stone of how I even got into sales, is because I was able to leave both my 2 jobs, Rubio's and El Pollo Loco, because of this gentleman. And then I was able to work 7 days a week just for Porky's. And then I transitioned into sales.
Yeah.
And it was a much easier transition to go from Porky's Pizza than quitting 2 corporate jobs, because I knew Justin, and obviously Mike took care of us very well.
Yes,
he
did.
At least he
absolutely
took care of me. You know, not a lot of companies are going to be able to let you work, 40 hours a week and then still give you like a grace where you can work those last 2 days and still get paid for those last 2 days.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
sorry I interrupted you.
No, you're fine, man.
So thank you.
But I'm glad
Justin.
we found the connection.
Yeah. So when I to kind of like get back onto what you were asking me. So
customers.
Yes.
How do you get them?
So how I get customers, right, is when I graduated, right, I made sure that my mind was occupied with, I need to get this over with as soon as I can so I can get back to work. Because I am very privileged and lucky enough to have my parents be able to help me through this while I work on weekends to like put gas in my car, have money for food, blah, blah, blah. But it was my priority to get through school as fast as I can. And I actually graduated school in 10 months, I think, because typically the program is about 11 and a half, 12 months, and I got it finished in 10. So I graduated a lot faster.
Wow, it's still long.
Yeah, almost a year, which is, but it flies, man. It really does. Like it goes so fast, like with all of the stuff that you're learning and just all of the knowledge that you're like soaking up, like and everything like that.
But it now allows you to collect the premium prices for your haircuts, and we'll get to that.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So when I graduated, I made sure that in the state of California, it's 1,500 accredited hours that you have to log at an institution before you're even considered for the licensing exam.
Yeah, it's always complicated in California.
Yes, right. Yeah. So I made sure that now at 1,000 hours, you could pre-register for your test, right? And this will all play into what you're asking me. So I had a plan. I knew exactly how I wanted to execute it, how I wanted to get done. And the day after I got my license, I went to like 7 or 8 different barbershops in my area.
Okay.
And like with no knowledge of what they were doing as far as like number of people that were walking in through the door, how long they'd been established, what they charged for a haircut. I just wanted a place to cut hair.
You just wanted to start.
Yeah, I just wanted to start. Getting my reps
no
in.
perfectionism. Let me analyze. Let's just fucking start.
Yeah. So I went to like 6 or 7 different shops, and then finally my last one, I stumbled across this shop down in Center Street called Barber, which is where I met Corbin. And there were 2 heads in there, Matt and Robert, that had been there for quite a while. So they were already pretty established because they were like the only 2 barbers in there that were like real traditional barbers, like that had been there for a while. So they were already pretty much established. They still, had room in their schedule for clients like that were coming in. Like if they had time, they could accommodate them. But it was them 2, and then there was our old head Pete. We called him Pistol. Just because this dude was just like super old school, didn't really have like the knowledge and the expertise, the type of guy that would like come in, sit in a chair and like read the newspaper. You know what I'm saying? Like guys would come in
Just
and be
old
like,
school.
like all the old heads that would come in, like Pistol would be the guy, right? So, but all the kids that were coming in that wanted like these new trendy haircuts, like the fade, the taper, the burst fade, like all that kind of stuff, they were all coming to me because these 2 other guys were already booked. And I was still available, but I was the new guy, right? So they're like, "Hey, we're booked, but Justin will take you."
Oh, that's
so yeah, so every head that was pretty much walking in.
It's like you, Corbin. If I'm too busy with my customers, like Corbin.
Oh no, dude! I was the squid at the shop. You know what I mean? It's a Rocket Power reference. That might be before your guys' time, but maybe not. But yeah, squid basically means like the new guy. You're the new guy. Right, so you eat the shit, you do all the stuff you don't want to do,
Just the growing period.
Yeah, the growing period. Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Some new words because they always make fun of me.
And
if I don't know American word like English word, they make fun.
Yeah, well, it is that is a term of endearment. I mean that, like when we call you that, I mean it's a term of endearment. It means like you're like our little brother, and we're gonna kick you in the ass, but we love you. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, so that's how I got so busy, Vlad. I went to a shop that had a good amount of walk-in traffic.
Okay, I got this, but do you work with your own clients right now and more for repeat clients, and where you have your own database right now, or you rely on the walk-ins more? How does it work right now?
I have both. I have clients that have been following me for 7 years. Shout out the OGs that come and see me, that have been continuing to see me for 7 years. Corbin being one of them.
Do you want to announce where the shop is, so maybe some of our guests can?
Sure. Yeah. So now I'm at the Bird's Nest in Newport Beach. We are the #1 rated barbershop in Newport Beach on Yelp and Google. We just did a whole bunch of renovations. The shop is all like brand new stations. We opened everything up. There's TVs. There's merch. There's community at the shop.
The previous podcast we wrote, your environment dictates your success, right? That's the exact topic we had.
Yeah.
And he can let you know that, if I'm not mistaken, Bird's Nest has been the best environment for you to see the most success.
100%.
And he not only has customers like myself coming in that have been with Justin for a long time, right? And we've built that long-term relationship. he has other affluent customers that just come through the door, and Justin may be available at that time. And
Sure.
you've met a lot of good people that are pretty well up there in the world. Like, I mean, the other day we got a haircut. The guy comes in a Ferrari. Next thing you know, his wife drops off his little kid in a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Like, and they're just getting a haircut there.
Yeah.
Right?
Corbin pulls up an E63.
Yeah, I did pull up in the E63 that day. But your environment dictates your success. So I just wanted to let you know that he does have a great environment for him to be really successful right now.
Yeah, 100%. It's a beautiful shop, and it's beautiful because the community is there. I'm sure you guys have all been to barbershops, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been into barbershops where you just like walk in and it's just like take a number, sit down, wait for your name to be called.
Yeah.
Right. And then you get in the chair and the guy's like, what do you want?
Yep.
And you're like, I want this. And they're like, okay. And then they're just off to the races. You're out of the chair in 30 minutes. You don't know anything about each other. Like he just put his hands on you, cut your hair, and then he's on to the next one. And by the time you leave, he's forgotten all about you. And like,
I still don't know how to explain my haircut.
That's okay. You were going to say something, Brandon?
Yeah, for you, Justin, right? You have a lot of clientele. You have a lot of people coming in and wanting a cut from you. What's the biggest thing you've taken from a customer?
The biggest
that
thing
made your life better.
That made my life better, dude, not to take life so seriously. I feel like honestly, like we are like, yes, we're always pursuing the best version of ourselves, right? Like that's kind of like what we're called to do. Like you got one life to live. I always tell people, like, don't you want to find out like what you're made of, right? Like, would you rather spend your life being mediocre, being okay with just being okay, or wouldn't you rather like put yourself to the iron or the grindstone, right? And figure out what you're capable of with however much time God gives you. You know what I mean? Like, and I am like that, you know, but sometimes I get so caught up in just being like, everything has to be so perfect. Everything has to be like spot on and like, you know, just pristine every time. And when I learned that, like, and this is a story that I'll tell you that like kind of made me snap out of that, right? Like I have a guy, his name's Steve. He comes into me like usually once every week just to get his beard done, right? And I've probably said this to Corbin too, but Steve said this, and this really like made me go, oh my gosh, like yeah, there's so much more to this. But he gets a beard trim, right? And whenever he comes in, his neck is always shaved. So it's like, it's something that like I don't have to do in my service, right? And I usually do with a beard trim. I do like full straight razor on the neck, I straight razor the cheeks. I do everything, right? And he had his neck shaved, and I made the joke to him. I was like, Steve, I was like, bro, you gotta like leave your neck like a little scruffy so you actually like give me something to do, like so I'm working for my money. And he goes, well, hey man, he goes, you know, honestly, like sometimes I just like to come hang out with you. You know what I mean? And when he told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, it's not always about the work. Sometimes it is really just about like just being with somebody and talking with them. You know what I mean? Like I always say this, and this is something that like I like is one of the backbones of like my business model and what I do. And this is like something I tell other barbers, I tell people that are maybe interested in like barbering, but it doesn't even have anything to do with barbering. It could have it, you know, it could do with car sales. It could do with, I'm sorry, Brandon, what do you do? What do you do? Software tech. Yeah, man. Like you talk to people on the phone all the day, all day, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
People will always remember how you make them feel. And if they feel like they can trust you, they feel like they can talk to you, they feel like they can rely on you. Yes. Bro, my haircut could be a fucking 6 out of 10, maybe even like a 5 out of 10. But if I make you feel like you matter and like you are not just a number, you're not just some guy that walked into the barbershop and I'm like, what do you want, right? Like I actually like remember things about you and talk with you about your life and make you feel like you matter. Dude, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter about the haircut. It's so much more than that. And like that is really like what I established my business on, is like I'm not just another barber. I am somebody who literally gives a shit. Like on my Instagram, it doesn't say artist, it doesn't say barber, it says image consultant on my Instagram, because I care about your image. I care about what you portray to the world, and I want to know what that is, and I want to make it the best that I can by telling you like, hey, this looks good on you, this doesn't. I'm very blunt. Corbin knows I'm very blunt. I told Corbin that we were growing out his hairline. You were growing out your hairline, dude, because sometimes when I see it, I'm like, it doesn't look right to me. And I think you need to grow it out because you come once a month about, right? Like, so like having a hairline is like usually like, hey, like if I see you every 2 weeks, right? And I've told Corbin that, and I love Corbin to death. And I would only tell Corbin that because I love him and I want him to look and feel his best. But Corbin is very stubborn. So we ended up just going right back to it, you know, but I am a stubborn
motherfucker.
Yeah, but I would be remiss if I just sat there and I like just bullshitted you and was just like, yeah, sure, man. Yeah, whatever. It looks good. Whatever. You know, like people are okay with just whatever sometimes. And I'm not. I like having that connection where like I can sit down and tell you like, this does not look good. This, I feel like this would be better for you. I will be that person for you.
So you think having a very pristine, sharp looking haircut will actually build confidence in the people that are in your chair?
Well, you tell me.
I think it's true, 100%.
Look at him.
100%.
Look at him.
If you have a clean haircut and you feel your best, I always feel like a billionaire when I walk out that chair. Yeah, ready 100%. To go. Sharp, clean. I can go in front of any customer. I know that when they're looking at me, they're like, wow, look at this young, handsome man talking to me right now. He's going to sell me a car. Of course I'm going to give him my money. Look how clean he looks. And that's what attracts money.
100%.
Is being confident in your own skin, but it comes down to making sure that you have the right people making you look the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
You mentioned you're an image consultant?
Yes. Image consultant.
Okay, so for all the young men out there, right? We want to improve our image. What are some things young men can do beyond just getting a haircut to improve their image, would you say?
Please use my example.
Your example, Vlad, you're a handsome dude, Vlad. Absolutely. I would love to have you in my chair sometime, man, and really take care of you. You know,
that compliment.
I know. You know, honestly,
his wife doesn't tell him. That's why.
Yeah, you tell me.
I will tell you every time, buddy. I promise. I do. I gas my clients up, dude. Absolutely. Like I make jokes, bro. Like I tell my boys like in the chair. I'm like, you know, like I'll be like, I was like, dang, dude. I was like, your wife know you're getting your haircut, or your girlfriend know you're getting your haircut? Like, no. Like, I'm like, well, let's hope she jumps on you as soon as you walk through the door, dude. Because we really know what it's about, dog. We do, 100%. We you know, we want to instill that confidence. So to answer your question, Brendan, I think that honestly, like, I think it starts with just giving a fuck about yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people are okay. Like I said, a lot of people are just okay with being okay. And I think that if you are just okay with yourself, you know what I mean? Like, you're never gonna know really like what you could be. Yeah. You know, like maybe you wake up one day and you're like, oh, I pushed my hair to the right. What if I start pushing my hair to the left? Right? Like, oh, like I wake up every day, I throw a t-shirt and sweatpants on. Well, what if I wore like nice jeans and a button up? You know, like little shifts like in your daily routine, like are what open the roads to discovery. You know what I mean? Like wearing like nicer clothes. Like I just started a service inside the barbershop. It is my VIP service. It is very luxury. It is very like for the man that is looking for a no rush experience. Somebody that literally comes in and I cover everything that I do, minus like color and perming. But if you wanted that, I would integrate that into the service for you for sure. But this service is for somebody who doesn't want to feel rushed. They want to have their look dialed in for them, you know? And so I told myself I wanted to do something different this year. Every year I try to always like do something new and exciting to push my business like into elevate it into the next step, because I'm not okay with being okay. I charge right now $70 for a haircut. I want to be at 100, right? But I know that doesn't just come like that. I have to elevate every single step of my service and my process in order to get it to make people believe it. You'll hear a lot in the barber industry, like, you know your worth, right? Like, know your worth, like charge your worth, right? Well, how about and great. I think it's bullshit. I think it's more create your worth. You know what I mean? Like create. I
like that.
Yeah. You know, like you like somebody that, like I won't name names, but I'll give an example, right? Like somebody that comes in and is just like does a haircut, 30 minutes, no straight razor, no towel, no style, no blow dry, none of that, right? And then they charge
no wash,
nothing, yeah. And they charge like $50. there are clients out there that will pay that, right? But then when they go from $50 to $60 and then they do the same exact thing, those clients are going to be like, I no longer see value. I'm just handing you over more money. And for me, it's like, you have to create that value, which is why when I went from $60 to $70 recently, everybody didn't even bat an eye because they knew like I had created the value. I had created the worth, because you can go get a haircut from somebody else for cheaper. And that's totally okay. There's great barbers out there that do $50 haircuts. There's terrible barbers that do $100 haircuts. Like, it's both, right? But you have to create value. You have to create your worth. So when I went from 60 to 70, people didn't even bat an eye. They were like, oh, okay, great. But somebody that doesn't elevate and somebody that tries to get away with that, the clients are going to see right through them. They're going to be like, dude, like, what? Like, I'm just giving you $10 extra for nothing? Like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? And so that was really something that I always do that for myself. I always am like trying to pursue like just being better, being great. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, and for nobody else other than really myself. Like I said, like knowing what I'm capable of and knowing that like when I say something, like I want to do it and I believe that and I see it eventually. You know what I mean? Like I always tell people about Corbin. I bring Corbin up a lot in my chair. I talk about Corbin a lot. And I always tell them, when Corbin looks at me and Corbin tells me that he's going to be a billionaire someday, I believe him because I've seen the work ethic. I've seen him waking up at 4 a.m. and journaling and doing push-ups in his hallway and going to the gym and being done before 8 a.m. All before somebody is even awake. Corbin has done 3 or 4 things like already, you know, and then he goes and works 12-hour days. Well, right? Like about 12-hour days.
10-hour days, 14.
Yeah, 14-hour days, like depends. Just like me, you know what I mean? And like, yep. I know that like, you know, like if you want to impress me, you're going to have to outwork me. You know what I mean? And that is ultimately the reason why I hired Corbin, because I knew like I'm a hard worker. I work my ass off and I work for family too. So it's like a double whammy. You know what I mean? It's like playing a sport and your dad's the coach, right? Like, if he's not, you can kind of get away with just being yourself. But if your dad's the coach, you got a lot riding on you because you're the son, right?
Yep.
So yeah. So when I would hire people, I'd always look at these people and be like, okay, is this dude gonna work as hard as me, or is he gonna outwork me? And anytime that somebody showed that to me, that was the person that I wanted working with me, and that is ultimately why Corbin got that job, because I knew Corbin was like special. Corbin was special, and Corbin had the work ethic, and Corbin had the drive, and I knew Porky's was going to be his stepping stone into something better afterwards. And eventually it was Hyundai, and now it's Fletcher Jones Mercedes, selling Mercedes at the #1 dealership in California, the country?
In the world.
Boom. Yeah.
Wow. So you witnessed Corbin's evolution.
I did. Yeah, 100%. And the cool thing is that like I feel like it's just the beginning.
Did you see him with the long hair though?
Yeah, he cut it off.
I was the one that cut it off.
We donated it to cancer.
Thanks God you did that, because I just saw the photo. And
we donated it to cancer.
We did.
What have you donated? Actually? What have you donated to cancer?
So my next question. Is, what separates
I gave it to
someone who charges
kids for wigs?
Because I've seen people on social media like, oh, I do premium haircut, $1,000.
Sure.
Like I've seen it on social media. What separates those people from people that do premium haircuts like you?
$1,000 for a haircut.
That sounds nuts. But biggest thing that he just said was that he makes you feel like you don't have to be rushed. I mean, if you're willing to pay that money, you don't want to be rushed.
That is, right? That is.
So like for me, I pay a premium to have Justin cut my hair, not because of the haircut. The haircut's great, but it's the fact that he respects my time and he fits me into his schedule when I need it most. And so you got to pay to play. That's a big thing. You got to pay to play.
Sure.
And so I also don't ever get rushed when I have a haircut with him. I don't want to be treated as someone that's buzz. Okay, have a good day. Here's your $50. And then next thing you know, next time you come back, it's a different person, or maybe the same person, but they having a bad day because they're just doing $50 haircuts all day. You want to be around someone that also sees success in not only you, but in themselves. So that way you're working as a team?
So I've seen this kid on social media. He's like in Miami. I'm buying my third Rolls Royce, and I'm doing these premium haircuts, and I charge like $1,000. And I was like, what the fuck is that haircut looks like? How do you get to that level? So he says, I do it for like for celebrities and stuff. So
Sure.
So maybe it's getting to the level of the people that are ready to pay it, or what do you think? How like for those people that do some kind of individual services, any kind of business, how do they go from here, then here, and then fucking here, where nobody can even get to there?
I will tell you this: social media ruined the barbering industry. It did, because you had people that were literally doing that, right? Like they were getting on the camera going like, this guy flew 200 miles and paid me $300 for this haircut, like blah 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 blah. And what that did was it gave all of these barbers with no credibility, no foundation to like stand on. They were just like, I'm God's gift to hair. I'm gonna charge $100 for a haircut, and you're gonna be happy and you're gonna be grateful that I charge that. A lot of these barbers nowadays, man, are very like this. Like, you're lucky you get to sit in my chair. And you see how like egotistical and like just shitty that kind of sounds? Like barbers made a lot of barbers, not all. I know barbers that are fucking awesome that I love, that I look up to, just little different things that I pick up from them. But then you have those barbers that are like, I'm the shit. I'm the guy. You're the lucky one. When it should be the other way around.
Right.
It should be the fact that it's like, dude, like I don't eat without you in my chair.
Yeah.
I don't buy diapers for my kid without you in my chair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feed my family
I've
without
seen
you in
barbers
my
like
chair.
that. You have to project the authority, right, with your client, because you're professional.
Yes.
And he's your guest.
Yes.
But there's got to be a limit where you can still see some kind of appreciation and respect, and the line between authority and like just high ego.
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, like the one thing that you will learn fast in the barber industry is that people are always looking for a deal, and people will always try to take advantage of you, 100%. That's
Tell us about it.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys probably know. Some guy walks in,
that.
he doesn't know you, and he's like, I want this car at MSRP, not $1 over, and you're gonna give it to me because blah, 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 blah. And you're like, well, no, that's not how it works. Like, I've got another guy that's coming in an hour to look at the same car, and he's gonna pay $30,000 over sticker.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so you get this sense of like these people just have this like entitlement where they think that they can just just almost like bully you. It's almost like bullying you into getting what they want because they're the
80% of
customer.
our job.
It was his customer today that bought the GT63, arguing over $70, buying a $200,000 car.
No, over $30.
$70.
It was
$30
the
a
difference
month.
was $30 because he thought what he put down. He comes up to the front counter and he's like, "Man, we're gonna lose a deal for $30." And Scott and I are looking at each other and we're like, "We just gave you $20,000 off the car. Like, you're winning. I don't know what you're worried about."
Yeah, and
he's looking at us like, it doesn't make sense. I'm like,
yeah, which
we gave you $20,000.
He talked to you?
And Scott, and we looked at him and we were like, "Bro, we gave you $20,000 off the
my
car."
God. Anyway,
Imagine
we're getting off
walking
the
into a
topic.
dealership.
But
well, which translates to coming back to it is that not every client is a good client worth keeping.
and worth your time.
And worth
100%.
your time.
100%.
Yes, correct. You want people that are going to respect your time, which in turn makes you respect theirs.
I love
You know
this
what I mean?
because I think that's what stops a lot of people from growing, to actually dropping those clients that waste your fucking time.
Yeah.
You have to respect your time and your expertise as you grow your expertise.
Sure.
And improve your skills.
Yeah, well,
like you gotta tell some people no, or if someone is like disrespectful to your time,
Oh, yeah.
you gotta tell them, hey man, you don't have to do it here, or maybe it's probably not the
Takeaway.
not the professional that you need right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I do it the best, and you got
This is-
paid, or you can just keep walking. you
Yes,
know?
this is what I hear, right? Somebody asked me, what do you charge for a haircut? And I go, I charge $70. It includes a straight razor neck shave, hot towel, style, product recommendation, whatever, And they go, $70, dude? I'm not paying $70. Well, I'm also not holding a gun to your head saying you've got to fucking sit with me. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest with you, I don't want clients like that. I want clients that go, wow, you're only $70? That's it? Those are the clients that I want.
Right, but it's kind of like if you rely on walk-in traffic, you will get more and more of those clients that will have the surprise in their face. So you got to build this referral system where you get the referrals and they're like happy to come to you.
It's normal. Once you have a good barber, it should be normal, especially when he's like an image consultant. It's different. Like he has Neil, me, Saj, my brother goes to him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if Jamish and them still make it out there.
I cut Jamish like 3 weeks ago.
So Jamish is my cousin. So like all of that came from just us, like 5 customers right there. Then Neil has his own, like Akash probably still goes to him, and other people still go to you from Neil's side. And that's just us brown people that referred to Justin. Like,
By the way,
that's it.
By the way, and I'm not leaving this podcast without image consultation.
Please,
he
dude,
needs
yeah,
it. He
please,
needs it.
You look
please,
like,
brother, absolutely.
You look
I feel like I'm
you look
ready
like
for
an
a change.
ostrich. You look like an ostrich. All right?
An ostrich?
Yeah.
Ostrich?
You know what an ostrich is?
Yeah, you look like you're gonna.
You know when you're running?
Justin,
all right, just joking.
for you,
Okay.
How
Justin.
about you go do the 50 push-ups?
Okay, after you do 50 push-ups.
Justin, for you, it's 2026, right?
Uh-huh.
What would you say are the biggest goals that you're trying to hit, while being a barber?
Biggest goals I'm trying to hit this year is to, one, not have Vlad look like an ostrich.
Yes.
Number one.
Clap it up for Vlad.
I got you.
Clap it up for Vlad.
I got you.
This guy got a sense of humor.
Little fun. No, this year, my goals, it is still like kind of like new to the year, and like I usually will have like one or two. Like one of my goals was to go from $60 to $70, and I did that in February. I planned that all out. I let my clients know, hey, like just so you know, like starting in February, my prices are going up. The price of everything else goes up. And it's very weird, like in the barbering industry, like giving yourself a raise, because a lot of barbers are like afraid to do it. They're like, oh God, I don't want to go from 60 to 70 because so many people are going to fall off and they're not going to want to pay me that anymore. But you know what? It's necessary growth. It's necessary growth, because if I think about it logically, right, like I'm making room. People will drop off. When I was working in Anaheim and then I moved all the way out to Newport to go cut hair, I lost a good amount of clients.
Yeah.
I did, because
people not gonna drive.
it was like it's
30
too
minutes.
far. I can't do that, But what it did is it made room for clients that were willing to pay me more. You know what I mean? And so I'm working less, but I'm making the same. If that makes sense, it's not by a lot. It's not a big margin. Like it's $10. You know what I mean? But that $10 extra, like for some people is a lot. You were saying that some guy was arguing about a deal over $70. Well, some people gripe about $70. Some people gripe about $7,000. Some people gripe about $10.
In the car industry, you can be griping over dollars, like even if
Right?
it's $3.
Yeah. I think it's in any industry, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's pretty petty.
yeah. Oh, why is the steak at Morton's, $80 when I could go to Applebee's and go get the same steak for $40, right?
It's the environment.
It's we are Morton's,
Yes.
they are Applebee's.
Or the experience.
Yes.
Correct.
Nobody is telling you that you have to order a steak here. Just like I never tell clients, you don't have to get your haircut by me. But one thing that I can guarantee, and one thing that I will tell you is that I give a shit. Some barbers don't give a shit. Some barbers just look at you like, okay, that guy's another $60, you're another $70, he pays me $100. That's math.
They see
right?
the dollar
And
signs.
They see
It's
the dollar signs.
typical
They see the
in
value
sales, too.
amount, right? But I go, that's Brennan. He's a software engineer, software sales, right? And like he talks to a lot of people and he's on camera all the time. Corbin sells cars, Vlad sells cars. Like they're in front of people a lot. I want them to look their best. I want them to feel their best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I give a shit about. I don't care that you pay me. I've got guys that pay me a lot, and I've got guys that pay me literally exactly what I ask for, and I treat them the exact same. They get the exact same service. They get the exact same haircut. I will say that people like Corbin who spend top dollar with me, like that will get you an incentive. Like, I'm not saying that I won't give like somebody the same service that I give Corbin, but if Corbin asks me like a day before, like, hey, can you get me in? I'm going to be like, yes. And I will tell other clients, hey, dude, I'm very sorry I have to move your appointment because I have a VIP client coming in and he gets first priority because he takes care of me. And so, and ultimately that led me to buying a car from you. Yeah. Like, I told somebody, like, you know, I when I was looking at cars and I was shopping, I was like, you know what? If I'm going to buy a car, I'm going to buy a car from somebody that supports me. And that's what I did. I went to Corbin and I bought my truck from Corbin. Yeah, and that's dope. That is like, yeah. So big goals for me this year. One was to raise my prices. Two is to just have like, I have so many amazing clients, dude. I really do. Like, if I told you some of the clients that I have, bro, like, you'd be like, oh my gosh, that's wild. Like, I've had so many cool opportunities. I've had the opportunity to cut Tim Salmon from the Angels. I cut Ryder DiFrancesco. He's a professional motocross rider. I cut Drake Bell, who's a Nickelodeon superstar, for like a little while. He was one of my clients, and I have had just like amazing conversations with these people, and like they're all like on the high end. But I've also have clients that I've cut for like 7 years. One of my favorite clients, his name's Chris, dude, works for Disney. He's like in corporate Disney, and I've known Chris. He has gone to every single shop that I've ever worked at. I've worked at like 4 or 5 different shops, and he has been at every single one. Does not matter the distance, does not matter the thing. And he pays me more than what I ask every single time. And every time I see him, he lights me up, dude. Like, we laugh. We have great conversations. Like, we have like very like intriguing, intelligent conversations.
Not
with
like
each other.
fucking cutting Corbin's hair.
Yeah, and we also have like really stupid conversations. So one of my goals in 2026 is to just have more of that. Have more of those people that like that I get to develop these really long-lasting relationships with. Like, it sounds really corny, but I don't really cut a lot of kids. Like, if you're my client and you have kids, I will cut your kids. Kids are very like, it's a lot of like, you know,
get the fuck out.
Well, I mean, you know, for me, it's like, I've had too many instances where like I've cut kids that are like
fucking kids.
You know, I've had a lot of instances that, I mean, don't get me wrong, kids are great. Yeah. I will cut your kids. If you were my client, I will cut your kids. A random kid off the street, it's not that I can't, and it's not that I don't want to. It's just that I choose not to, because I've had so many instances where like, it's like, I don't have a kid's price. My price is my price. You are paying me for my time. You're paying me for my expertise. You're not paying me because that's just the number that I came up with. You know, much like anybody else that's in like a blue collar job, right? Like a guy that does construction or a plumber or, you know, somebody like that. Like, you were just telling me the other day that Vlad charges $150 an hour just to have a conversation with him, right? Like, that number just didn't come out of thin air, right? Like, you were paying me for my expertise. So when a kid comes in and he's like 2 and I tell a mom like, that's $60, they're like, he's a kid. What do you mean it's $60? And I'm like, well, yeah, like, but that's my price. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need to argue it with you. Like, that's my price. Either you pay it or you don't. So I've had more instances where like that happens with kids, where moms are like, kind of like, what the hell, dude? Like, why are you charging me that much? He's just a kid. And I'm like, well, it's not that he's a kid. It's that it's my time. It's actually a lot harder for me to cut a child because they move and they don't sit still and they're crying and they're taking the cape with the hair on it. And they're doing this to get the hair out of their face, and they end up having more hair on their face. So it's just like it's a big thing, you know. And so I just decided like a long time ago, I was like, I'm not going to cut kids unless you're my client, and then I will cut your kids, you know. Yeah.
So I
love kids, by the way, just to clarify. Like, if you have kids, I love them. Just be my client first, and then bring me a kid.
Your current price is $70 right now, right?
Yes.
What does Justin need to do in the next couple months, years, to get it to 100? What is that $100 version cut? Like, how do you get there?
I mean, honestly, it's continuing to pursue education. I think that's like, there's a really funny thing in the barber industry where you have like a lot of these barbers, and I don't know if it's like, it has to do with like licensing or if it has to do with like just ego or whatever, but you have like a lot of these barbers that come out and they're like, I'm a master barber, right? Like, you'll hear it a lot in the barber industry. I'm a master barber, right? Well, to me, a master implies that you have learned everything that there is to learn about cutting hair. You know everything, right? But the thing is that styles change, trends change, haircuts change. You know what I mean? And so in order for you to be a master, you have had to have like already known that. And like that just tells me like you just don't pursue education further. You know, like I've spent thousands of dollars on education where I have walked in and like been like, that was a complete waste of time, right? But I go in there and I know everything that this person has taught, and then I learn that one little thing that just connects everything together, and I go, that was worth $1,000. That was worth $4,000. That was worth, you know, $10,000. That just that one little piece, right? So for me, I think like getting me to $100 requires a lot more education, a lot more just having answers and being the person that when you come to me, I have a solution or I have something that is going to work for you. I think it comes down to skill a little bit too, for sure. Like 100%, like, you know, you gotta like, there's a lot of stuff that I still don't really like have a whole lot of like a very firm grasp on. I'm very confident that like, if you come in, I can give you a good haircut. I'm going to do it my way. You know, it might not be something that you're used to, right? But like, if like, let's just say hypothetically, like, I don't cut a lot of black hair. In the last 7 years, I have had 3 black clients, right? And black hair is a whole lot different than like my hair or your hair, right? It's very curly. It's very dense. It's very like not forgiving if you don't treat it the way that it needs to be treated, right? Like if I take a 2 over your head and run a 2 all the way around, right? It's going to look like it's a 2, right? But if I take a 2 and I do that on a black person's hair, they're going to look fucking bald. Like, because the density is different, the growth, not the growth pattern, but like the texture is different. Like there's different things. So you have to learn how to master that and how to navigate that a different way than you would like, say, Corbin's hair or Vlad's hair. It's a different ball game. It's a whole different ball game.
I'm looking at Corbin. I don't know where the fuck he falls under. What category.
Corbin has great hair. Corbin has great fadeable hair. I love doing Corbin's haircut. I really do.
I'm sorry,
I do.
dropped it.
No, you didn't at all. Absolutely.
So I have a question. This is going to relate to you as well, Vlad, so you're going to have to chime in. But becoming a dad, how has that changed your life?
It has given me a whole lot more of a reason to show up at work.
Wow.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's strong.
Absolutely. Like before, like much like you guys know, with kids or without kids, right? Like there's days where you love your job and it doesn't feel like one, right?
Yeah.
And then you have days where you show up and you're like, this is work and I hate this and I don't want to do this anymore. And I have both quite often, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Right?
We all do.
Yeah, we all do. And when I had my daughter, I realized one of my friends put it to me like this: you are no longer like, it's no longer your story, right?
Sure.
You are a character in their story. And what do you want that character to be? Do you want to be the superhero dad? Do you want to be the dad that like was kind of there? Do you want to be the dad that paid attention and spent time with them? Or do you want to be the dad that just kind of like was like, do whatever, you know, and didn't really like care or pay attention a whole lot, you know? And when my buddy told me that, it made me go like, I need to work my ass off, but I also need to remember that I've got a daughter at home as well. Like I work my ass off to provide for my family and for my daughter, but I also don't sacrifice the time to like just constantly be working when I also have the ability to be able to be with her. That's the one thing that I loved and was one of the biggest sells for me of being a barber, is that like if my business wasn't succeeding, it's because I wasn't succeeding. But I really like the fact that looking down the road, if I was working at a restaurant and I was like, my daughter has a soccer game, or she's got a play, or she's got, you know, something going on, right?
Yeah.
Like I would have to tell her, I'm really sorry, sweetheart, I can't take that off. Daddy has to work. I am in a position where like if my daughter calls me and goes, Dad, I have a baseball game or a softball game or something going on, I can literally be like, I will be there. And there's nothing that will stop me from being there. And I love that. I get to be present in her life, and I get to be the ultimate like driver of my life. And so that was like one of the biggest sells for me, like being a barber. So yeah, like having a daughter like made me realize like there's a lot more important things than me now at play. And I need to remember that and constantly just be pursuing better, always be pursuing better, be setting an example, right?
Yes.
Like being an example to somebody that, you know, eventually will like look back on the life that they had with you and be like, you know, how do I remember my dad? Was my dad the guy that was there? Or was my dad the guy that was always working and I never saw him? Was my dad like, you know, loving and caring and like, and provided for me? Or was my dad just like a fuck off that like only gave a shit about himself and like could barely remember things about me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was like, no, I don't want that. I want to be the latter and I want to focus on that. And so that's really kind of what changed my perspective like in this industry.
What about you, Vlad?
It's a very thin line that you got to walk on, and I don't know if there is a definitive answer to that question, because I believe that there could be years where you sacrifice, but when you sacrifice, you can't go back and spend time with your 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old. But it's also weight, the two weights, like what, how do I say this? Like a man is a provider and he can create the value where your wife, your kids will have comfortable life. And sometimes at certain stages of your life, that's more important than even the time that you spend with, because you gotta build the base, that life that can be comfortable not only for the next 10 years, but for generations. And if you have really like high goals of being a millionaire, being a billionaire, there could be some years or maybe decade where you sacrifice, but it's the choice that you make, and you won't be able to go back and change that and spend time with the family. So it's just the choice for everyone.
Yeah.
It's I don't think there is like
There's
even
no
a
right or wrong answer.
There's no wrong way. Yeah,
It's-
there's your way.
Because
Yeah,
a
it's your
man,
story.
first of all, is a provider, and he creates value and he creates comfortable life for other people.
Yeah.
So I think that's the number one priority that you have to have, and then everything else. Because if they're good, if they have a good life, if you create enough value where maybe you can retire your wife, maybe you can retire your mom, you can retire. You really look tired, Corbin. You can retire a lot of family members and create a lot of value for the rest of the family. Then you did your job as a man.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So there's different angles that you can look at it. But you as someone who, because I understand this is not like a W-2 job, you're self-employed.
No, I am my own business. Yeah, I'm a
Okay.
1099 independent contractor.
Okay, so where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years, and how can you grow, and do you have plans to grow your business to a different level?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yes. Like I really do. It's so funny because like when you're in barber school, right? Like every barber, it doesn't matter who they are. Like every barber has the dream of opening a barber shop, right? Like wanting to own a barbershop, wanting to
Right.
be the boss,
Yeah.
right? And after 7 years of being in this industry and like seeing what that means, I decided that would it be awesome to open a barbershop? Absolutely, 100%. But that is work that never goes away. The one thing that I love more than anything about being a barber is that when I'm at work, I am a barber. When I am at home, I am a father. When I am with my friends, I am a friend to them. If you own a barbershop, yeah, it can be great and it can be super lucrative and you can make a lot of money, but you carry that workload with you all the time. Like, oh shit, the air conditioning went out. Oh shit, like this barber just like, cut somebody and now I've got to deal with that. Like it's just stress all the time. And some people like that. Some people like having that. But I personally, after working with people that have owned barbershops and friends that have owned barbershops and barbershops that are like, just getting started versus barbershops that have been around for like a while, I like the fact that like I am my own business. I rent my station. So technically by law, I am my own independent business. I just rent my chair from somebody, but I get to conduct my business how I see fit, how I want to run my business. I get to charge what I want. I get to dress how I want. I get to say what I want, and nobody really is going to tell me how to do that.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and that's just like one thing that I just love about being a barber is that like I like I said, I am the navigator, right? If my business works, it is because I worked. If my business doesn't work, it's because I'm not doing enough. So to get me to that $100 level, I think honestly, like I said, in this industry, there's a lot of ego. Some people just think that they deserve $100 a haircut. And you know something? I'll be honest with you. There's people that do that and it works.
Yeah.
There's people that go out there and they're like, you know, I charge $100 a haircut. You either pay me or you don't, right? And people are like, okay, I'll pay you, right? Yeah. But then they go and like they get a $100 haircut, but like the customer service is like mediocre. You know, the service is whatever, you know, and then they're just expected to pay you $100, right? Well, yeah. Like if it's me, sure, like I'll pay that $100, but am I going to come back? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like that was one thing that like I started seeing a lot of barbers in my shop charging more, and I have encouraged them to charge more. I'm like, dude, but like there's got to be so much more that happens like within these walls that needs to change in order for us to be able to do that successfully. Because if you all of a sudden are just like, I was $50, now I'm $60, and nothing changes, people leave. Yeah, people go somewhere else where they're gonna find value in what you're asking. And so like little things like just making sure your station's clean, walking up to the door to somebody, like walking up to a client. I can't tell you how many times I see this in the barbershop, dude. New client comes in, an opportunity for you to make a new client, to make more money, to put more money in your pocket, right? And the barber literally stands behind the chair while the gentleman walks in, and they're like, "Hey, you Brandon? Yeah, I'm Justin over here." And like, not even start with the right foot forward. They just like, "Yeah, I'm over here. Come on." You know, and then you walk over and you sit in the chair. It's awkward because you're like walking. Barbershops are intimidating as hell. You walk in there and it's like a bunch of fucking tattooed, crazy looking people, like all ready to cut hair and stuff like that. And you're like, I don't know any of these people, and I'm in a room full of them right now. And now I gotta sit down in this chair and like make small talk with this dude for 45 minutes to an hour or whatever. And like, he barely asked me like 3 questions. He didn't even ask me about my day.
So the experience cannot be basic like what you just described. It
yeah,
has
I like
to
that.
Be, has
yeah.
to be
you obsess over the customer experience, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
You have to connect.
Yes.
Connect. And
100%.
The environment has to be like upscale. If you want to charge upscale prices, you can't fucking do it in a basic chair with a basic environment around you. So you gotta not only up your game, but everything around you and the tools that you use. And it goes without saying that your skills gotta be
100%. Well, it's like you guys, right? Like you guys sell cars, right? Like if you're trying to sell a $200,000 car to somebody, right? And like, let's say you guys work next to each other and you're trying to sell this guy like a $200,000 car. He's willing to spend a lot of money with you. And Corbin works right next to you. And Corbin's got like leftover food on his desk, and like his desk is a mess, and like there's shit everywhere. You're gonna be like, dude, I'm trying to sell this guy a $200,000 car, and your station looks like shit.
Yeah.
Clean up, right? Like people are very vigilant. People are always looking around. They're always like got their eyes out and stuff like that. Which is why, like before every client, dude, like I clean my tools, I clean my station, I fold my cape and I put it down on the station. So like these people know, like, oh my God, this dude like literally is like just trying to make it perfect every single time. And going back to what I was saying is like people do what I was telling you about, where they're just like, yeah, over here, right? Dude, when I have a new client, like if I'm in the middle of a client, dude, like I will walk up to you, I'll be like, Brandon, how you doing, man? I'm Justin. Pleasure to meet you, brother. Like, come on in, brother. Have a seat. We got the TV on. Like, I'll be with you in just a few minutes. I'm just wrapping him up. We got a fridge in the back. Can I get you something to drink while you wait? You know what I'm saying? Like, you create that experience the moment that somebody walks in the door. Yeah. So they're already blown away off the door.
Right.
You know, as soon as they walk in, they're already like, oh my God, like this is different. This is not something that I'm used to getting. You know, and that is like, people are looking for an experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I provide you a job, right? But they're also looking for an experience too. They're looking for something that like they've never had done before. And Corbin will tell you, like, What do I do every service? I give you a straight razor neck shave.
Yep.
I give you a hot towel with essential oils so the towel smells good. And what's the last thing that I do before I take the towel off? Shoulder massage.
Of course.
I give you the shoulder massage.
Yep.
And like the reactions I get from people when they like never had that fucking done before are like, oh my God, like what's this, dude? Like this is crazy. Like I've never had this done before. You have no idea how many times I hear that. Like a week when I have new clients. They're like, I've never had this done before. That's what I want to hear. Because they're gonna be like, well shit, dude, if I go somewhere else, I'm not gonna get this. So I might as well stay here. I might as well pay whatever he's asking, dude, because I'm gonna go to the chop shop down the street and it's just gonna be like, hey, come on over. Like, what do you want? Okay, cool. And then 30 minutes later, they're out the chair and they're like, this side's up here, this side's down here. Fucking, like, this side's longer, this side's shorter. Like, fucking, he faded this down to bald. This is still zero. Like, you like
It's just
little things, you know?
This is where my next question, because this is
That's where you go, right, Flat?
no, this is yeah. So listen, this is
So where's your chop
this
shop
is
at?
It's on his head.
this is
You guys are fucking terrible, dude.
my grandma does it for me. So for free.
Your grandma or Arthur?
Yeah.
Your
So-
son.
Never underestimate the grandmas. Never.
Yeah. So this is obvious. The result of your work is obvious, and there is obviously aspect of connecting with the person and creating the experience and having the right environment.
Sure.
But our job is sales, and I feel like the reflection of the job that we're doing is like it's non-tangible. You can't really touch it, and it's more about how you make the person feel.
Yeah.
But I feel like in any industry, it's not even yes, it's all important, but how do you grow this? And I think the way you grow this is, as any business marketing, is how do you get more clients? And when you get more clients, now you got so many clients that you can replace the clients that don't want to pay for your skill.
Correct.
With the clients the enough of clients that want to pay for your skill. And now, if you raise the price to $100, you have so many clients that willing to pay that you kind of don't you don't care. Like you raise the price because that's your worth and that's how you gotta do it. So my question is, do you when you plan to grow your business, do you plan to or maybe you've been doing this already, any social media, any marketing that you do, how do you grow your business? How do you get your name out there? Is it more of just referrals and working your inner circle? How do you grow your business to get to that level?
Every service that I do with a new client, at like the very like end of the service, like right as like I'm about to like start styling the hair, I will let them know like, hey, you know, if you enjoyed the service today, like I just want to let you know that like leaving a Google review or leaving a Yelp review really helps grow my business. It helps establish me in the community. It helps get my name out to people.
Your personal Yelp.
No, our shop Yelp.
Your
Our
shop
page Yelp.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Typically, I will always go for Google, and this is very interesting. Something that I learned last year is that like Google should be your number one over any other platform for reviews. Because
When I look for my chop shop, I always look at Google.
Google, right? Yeah. Because Google is the first thing that opens
Say
up on
Google
your
one
phone.
more time.
Google. Yeah, that is okay. I'm used to them making fun of my accent.
It's very good. It's very like you're very like you like I can understand
Justin's
you.
lying to you.
No, I'm not. I'm being dead
Yeah.
serious, man. I'm
I think
100% serious.
I think we'll start a podcast with you, Justin. Yeah, these guys are bullets.
They're bullies.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out.
I didn't know Russians were sensitive.
Yeah. Justin, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Before we end this podcast, right? You cut a lot of people. What's something that you try to instill within younger men who are sitting, you know, at your chair, right? We have a younger audience. What's something that you would want to really speak and advocate to them?
Man, like honestly, that's a good question. Something that I would like say to younger men, I think, is like you are capable of so much more than you might think you are. I guess would be like what I would say. Like a lot of people really like my biggest thing that I like, one of my like the backbones or like the pillars of my business, right, is to make people feel a little bit taller when they walk out than they did when they walked in, right? Because underneath all of whatever is going on in your life, there's something inside of every single person that comes in that is admirable. It's like it's there. It's underneath all of this. And like, you just have to literally like believe in yourself. Believe that like you are capable of amazing things if you put your mind to it. Like if you just tell yourself like, I can do this and I am capable of doing this, and you believe in yourself and you have that confidence in yourself, bro, there's not a single thing that you can't do. And I mean that, because I, in 7 years, went from $25 a haircut to $70 a haircut. I am booked out most days. Like there are very little days like when I am available. Like if it's not that day, it's the next day. Like this past weekend, I turned away like 5 or 6 clients, like, and told them like, hey, like, I can't fit you in. I will, but it's going to be an extra charge because now you're taking my time, right? Like, so I have a very set schedule. So on Mondays, I work from 9 to typically like 4, unless I can have my mom watch my kid, and then I can work like a little bit later to like about 6. But then on Thursday and Friday, I work 10 to 7. And then on Saturdays, I work 10 to usually like 5 or 6. I try to maximize that day too, because I'm only working 4 days. But if somebody wants to come in, I'm like, hey dude, like, yeah, I'll take you at 8 or 9, but it's going to be $90 or $100 depending on what I need to do for you, because now you're investing in my time. So I set clear boundaries with people so people can't take advantage of me in my business. But knowing that you're worth it, knowing that you're capable of greatness, and knowing that you can literally do anything. There's nothing in the way, dude. It's all you. It's all a mindset. If you believe that you can't do something, you're never gonna do it. Yeah. But if you just go, hey man, like if I try, like I'm sure you guys have probably seen this, right? Like where it's the 2 dartboards, right? And it says like, this is trying and this isn't, and the trying is the dartboard and all of the darts are away from the bullseye. And then the other one is just the dartboard and it's empty, right? Yeah. Like this is trying, throwing the darts to the board until finally one fucking sticks, dude. And that is what I would tell, like, just try. Wow. Dude, like it takes 3 seconds for you to get over that fucking fear and just do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like on that other side of that, 3 seconds could be the rest of your fucking life.
Yep.
I didn't know that I wanted to fucking cut hair until I walked into a fucking hair school and was like, yeah, I want to fucking do this, man. Like I want to be about this and I want to be the best at it. And I told myself every day, like, if I fucking keep doing it and I keep fucking elevating and I keep making my service better and better and better, I will be. And I'm like almost there in 7 years, and in 10, I'm hoping I will be,
So try things, take action, be fearless. On this note, I think we're going to wrap up our podcast. We're going to thank our guests again.
No, thank you guys for having me. Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, no, you guys have a great thing going here, man. And I know that, you guys are going to inspire a fucking lot of young kids, dude. And like just by doing little things like this, like I'm sure you guys probably never thought you'd be doing a fucking podcast, but here you are, 11 episodes deep. Congratulations. That's fucking huge. And this is the
7 followers,
57
subscribers.
followers.
57 followers.
Yes.
That's great.
Subscribers,
And
on YouTube.
And that's 2 months.
This is gonna go in history. You're our first guest.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
If
That's
you
awesome.
guys
Thank
have
you
not
guys.
subscribed to his channel, you're gonna miss out on watching a journey of 3 young individuals that gonna achieve greatness. And if you wanna achieve greatness with us, subscribe to his channel, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Peace.
Yeah.